honored to invite Dr. Jay Chaudhary Garu, founder, chairman of the International Startup Foundation, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank our distinguished guests, Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Special Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana. We also want to thank Mr. Srinath Reddy, Chairman and Managing Director of Ram Informatics. Our special thanks to Rajeshwar Rao Garu, who is the Director of Engineering Staff College of India. Without his help, I don't think ISF would have conducted this very conference. Thank you, Rajeshwar Rao Garu. I know that for the last 1 week, you have been almost living in the campus, trying to see that all the infrastructure facilities are up and running. Thank you so much for all your dedicated support and encouragement for making this conference to happen this day. I also would like to welcome all our distinguished invitees who have come from different continents. People have come from United States, from Canada, from Singapore, from London, Germany, Netherlands, and so many other countries. I met them yesterday also, today also I met a lot of them. Normally, for big conferences like this, whenever we invite people, the conference are supposed to take care of their travel, accommodation, make sure that they come here and attend the conference. Since our India's International Startup Foundation itself is a startup company, we started about 2 years back without any money, without any legal structure. Sir, I was just mentioning about the story of ISF. So we started as a startup company about 2 years back. As I mentioned, like any other startup company, when they got an idea, they don't have any money, they don't have a team, they don't know how to really go about. So we were almost like that 2 years back. Somebody said it's a high time for India to encourage the early stage startups. The reason why we started ISF, what we noticed is more than 80% of the early stage startup companies in India, they are actually getting into the so-called startup death valley. Jayesh Ranjan Garu, you may be aware because you are responsible for setting up the T-Hub, T-Works and V-Hub, and you may be knowing the statistics. I don't know, these statistics may be different in Hyderabad, but in general, even Silicon Valley, only 1 out of 10 startup companies are succeeding, even in Silicon Valley. So we thought, why can't we flip that model? Why can't we make 9 out of the 10 companies that we are supporting should be successful? That was the objective of International Startup Foundation when we started 2 years back. We were not knowing how to do it. What is the recipe to flip that equation? We thought, let us try, because there is a need. I have seen myself, many startups, even from Ivy League, from IIT Madras, IIIT Hyderabad, they actually really struggle in the early stages of their startup journey, not having the funding in time, not having the teams in place, not having the customers who are going to support them for the revenue and all that. So many startups, they struggle. Only few startups are able to overcome these hurdles and come to the next stage. So a similar kind of issues were there for the International Startup Foundation. Though we started with a noble objective helping the early stage startups. So initially we had a conference in Bangalore, Mudanahalli. There are not even hotels were present in Mudanahalli. There is a small village near Bangalore airport. And when I invited all our guests to come for the first conference, we had no email connection also. I had to send WhatsApp messages to all of them. And we had only 40 days time to invite all of them for the conference in Mudanahalli for the first ISF conference. Initially it was India Startup Foundation. We never thought that we will go global. But in the second conference, which happened again in Mudanahalli, lot of startup companies whom we selected around 15 startup companies out of I think 3,000 startup companies who competed for the pitch competition during the first conference. Out of these 15 companies, normally what happens when the conference is over, we remove all the WhatsApp groups and we again meet them only the next year conference. What I told them, let us not leave any WhatsApp groups. We had a lot of speakers from different parts of the globe. So we'll continue the WhatsApp group and we will have every Saturday, one of the selected 15 companies, we will give them an opportunity. Normally what happens today, for example here, today is the pitch competition is going on. There are nearly 150 startup founders, 150 companies. They're all pitching. We are going to select some of the 10 startup companies out of this 150. And most of the juries and CXOs, they're all sitting in the other buildings in the same campus. That's the reason why you don't see most of them sitting in the auditorium here. And our selection process is out of 50,000 startup companies who registered, out of that we selected 150. That 150, they're all here in the campus. Out of this 150, we may select maybe 10 or 15. The same thing we did during the first conference. And normally we used to give about 10 to 15 minutes time for each startup company to explain about the product and what they're going to do. We thought that that's not enough time for them to really explain what are the problems that they're facing. That's the reason why we thought every Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m., and we requested all the global leaders, global mentors, global investors from different continents to be present in those calls. And we have more than 600 global mentors, more than 200 ISF angels who normally participate in this weekly Saturday conference calls. So normally our selection process is out of these 15 companies whom we selected during the first ISF conference, each one of them was given an opportunity to present on those Saturdays. And today, to our surprise, 99% of those companies are doing well. They got funded, they got market access, they are getting the mentorship. So we thought that yes, this model is working. So the same model we want to continue doing the second conference also. The second ISF conference happened again in Mudanhalli. There what happened, in the first day itself, about 150 term sheets we were able to close for the early stage startups. And most of the angel investors, they were all from the real estate industry from Hyderabad, or pharma industry, or biotechnology industry, who normally never used to invest in the tech startups and early stage startups. I requested them, instead of you going and putting money in some temples in the hundi, the same money with a little bit more money, why don't you give it to the startups, because they are struggling for money in the early stage. So you think that you are getting more punyam by going to Tirumala and praying Lord Venkateshwara and putting the money in hundi. If you do the same thing, helping a early stage startup, not only he is giving opportunities to many employees who is going to be employed by him. If that startup becomes a successful startup, he is going to create wealth also for the nation and also for the investors. So whereas if you go and put money in any hundi, you think that you get some good karma points. I don't know whether they are getting those karma points, but here definitely you'll get much better karma points because you are creating employment for many people. All their families you are going to help. And in addition to that, you are not giving a charity. That money is going to come back to you in multiples. Minimum what we have seen is 4 to 5 multiples of that money, whatever they have invested in those early stage startups, they got the money back. So that's what we started requesting all the angels within the country, outside the country. Now we have got a very active ISF angel network. We have got more than 250 crore commitment. Out of the 250 crores, we already invested, deployed 50 crores in 40 companies of startups who are all doing very well. And in this conference also, whomever we are going to select, obviously we are going to have one more session with them on every Saturday. And based on that, if our investors they like that company and like the founders and what they're doing, obviously this money will go into, not only the money is only 10% of the game in the startup journey. more than the money, mentoring. Most of the startups, they don't know, they think that their product is going to do very well in the local market or international market. But many of them, without knowing how the competition is going to be there, what are the other strategies that he has to take care. Without that, they just get into it. They take the money from the friends and families, get into the business. Most of them, they die in the so-called startup death valley. So that's where the concept of mentoring is required. All the startups requires hand-holding and mentoring so that we can guide them. No, this is not the way. This may not work for you. Maybe you have to add this element or this component. Then only you will be successful. That's one. The other important thing is the market connects. Most of the startups, they don't have ability to connect to the markets. We will make sure that the startups selected by us are going to be connected to our ecosystem, and most of them are getting those connections, and because of that they are able to not only survive and succeed. The same model we are going to continue here. So we thought that what we noticed is the network connections is very, very important. Like I keep telling, in Sankranti festival, Pongal festival, people keep the dots initially. Then they start connecting the dots. Then afterwards they see a nice figure coming out. ISF also, if you see our tagline, connect, collaborate and celebrate. The first thing what we do, whoever comes to ISF, we connect them either to a mentor or to the investor or to a global CXO or somebody who can get them the business. I think that strategy is working so far. And also we are following 3M strategy. First aim is the mentoring. Second aim is the money. Third aim is the marketing. So this 3M strategy is also working so far. So in addition to that, what I thought, why don't we bring the global CIOs of large companies. They are there in North America, Europe and all that. I was discussing with one of my friends, Manohar Reddy, who is the founder chairman for Fusey. He said, yes, Jay, I've been conducting these CIO conferences in Costa Rica and United States. Next year, we are going to bring that to Hyderabad. So next November, most probably, we'll bring the global CIOs to Hyderabad. And we are planning about 100 global CIOs. In addition to Mr. Manohar Reddy's company, we are also getting the support from Stanford alumni. There is a Stanford alumni where there is a CIO group, and they are also promising me that they are going to bring the top CIOs from various parts of the globe. You know that the alumni of Stanford, they are already in very big positions. So they are all trying to get the decision makers to Hyderabad next year. So that's going to be our ISF event, and we will be selecting about 100 startups founders to attend that conference in Hyderabad, because they want to have a more bonding and networking during the conference. So that is the kind of format that we are looking at happening in Hyderabad next year in the month of November. In addition to that, we want to take our startups to Spain. In Spain also we are going to have global CIO conclave. There also we are going to invite all the decision makers to come to Spain, and also we'll take all the selected startups whom we have already selected through our ISF conferences. We'll get them the exposure to meet those decision makers. So we are trying to do our best. So our only objective is how our startups from India, particularly early stage startups, how they can survive, succeed and becomes a unicorn. So that is our strategy. So far, we are very, very thankful to our global mentors, global ISF angels, all the ecosystem players for supporting this noble initiative. Because of your support, we are able to do all these things. So with this, I want to once again thank our distinguished guests who have come, in particular our Honorable Member of Parliament, so he's just now come. So I request all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and also the media for making this conference a grand success. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. Rameshwar Rao Garu, Director of the Engineering Staff College of India, to share his thoughts with us.
Good morning to all of you. It is my immense pleasure to be as a guest of honor of this event, and this International Startup Foundation, a global non-profitable organization, is hosting a prestigious 3-day festival at our newly constructed Century Convention Center. In fact, is going to be inaugurated by our Honorable Chief Minister. We are expecting any time. We are very ready. As a director of this Engineering Staff College of India, it is my privilege to extend a warm welcome to for the entrepreneurs and industry leaders and innovators and esteemed delegates who have traveled around the world to be here with us today. The theme, all of you know, already our Chaudhary sir has explained very well. This festival is the innovation entrepreneurship in the present AI era. In my opinion, innovation is the introduction of the new ideas and products or methods and improve the efficiency and solve the problem and create value in various industries. So innovation is driving growth by generating employability across the multi-sectors, including especially technology, and also playing a vital role in the economic development of the states and nationals. So, moreover, innovation helps address the global challenges and fostering creation of the more resilient and sustainable societies. It is influenced to extend across the industries and the regions, making it a crucial driver for progress of today's interconnected world. So, in the era of AI era, the synergy between the innovation and entrepreneurship is the instrumental to propelling the economic growth and also society advancement. The entrepreneurship or the leveraging artificial intelligence to develop the groundbreaking solutions that address the complex challenges across the sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, finance, transportation, and education, touching every aspect of the human life. So this dynamic economic ecosystem promotes the creativity and competition and rapid scalability, allowing the startups to adopt the changing market demands while enhancing the operational efficiency. I am confident that these discussions and exchanging during this International Startup Festival will be explore the possibilities and challenges ahead and ultimately lead to solutions that shape our future of our industries and also society. I wish the grand success of this event. Thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to convey my congratulations to the organizers of the International Startup Festival for bringing this event here to Hyderabad. As Dr. J. Chaudhary Garu mentioned, the earlier editions that took place in Muddanhalli were very successful. Large number of early stage startups received support, mentors interacted with them, angel investors were in a position to provide term sheets to them. And I'm very confident that the same will be the outcomes here in this Hyderabad edition also. I completely concur with what J. Chaudhary Garu mentioned, that in olden days, we used to speak about this valley of death, how large number of startups would start, but very few would eventually succeed, and a large number of them will drop out or will be forced to change their line of activity, which of course is not to be seen as a failure if your initial attempt has not worked, but if you are agile enough to pivot and get into something which is much more viable. That also is a way of life for startup enterprises. But there used to be quite a few where they would completely give up on entrepreneurial journey and get back into a regular 9-to-5 job, etc. But we have also discovered through experience over a period of time that there is lots of science and art behind supporting startups. And if we are able to do that well, the chances of startups succeeding are far more than them not succeeding. In the institutions that we have promoted, normally the typical narrative, whether it is Silicon Valley or Bangalore or anywhere else, which are considered to be important startup hubs in the world today, the popular narrative is that government has very limited role in this work. It should be left to the market forces, the the enthusiasm of the private sector, the network which come up organically by themselves. And the government at the best can play a role of a facilitator. But 10 years ago, when Telangana became a new state, we decided to challenge this narrative. And we felt that instead of being a facilitator or an enabler, that the government drive that ecosystem. And I still remember 10 years ago, Hyderabad was not considered to be a very vibrant or a very dynamic startup destination. There were hardly 2 or 3 innovation spaces. There were just about 50, 60 startups. But we have come a long way since then. There are 70 plus innovation spaces. The number of startups has gone up to more than 6,500. And more than the numbers, it is the quality of startup output that gives us the maximum satisfaction. And by quality of output, I don't only allude to their valuations and the amount of money they have been able to raise, but the kind of products and solutions that they have been able to bring. And we ourselves in the government use their products and solutions in at least there are 50, 60 startups who have contributed to their solution for some activity of the government, which is of relevance to us. So I do hope that the Startup Festival, the ISF, will become a very important mainstream event on the national calendar, global calendar, and more than to others, it is the aspiring startups, early stage entrepreneurs, even students who are in a dilemma whether to pursue their own entrepreneurial journey or whether to take up a job. And they are not able to make up their minds. At least this will become a very good platform to understand what kind of successes happen, what are some of the success stories, how ordinary people like them have really cracked this kind of the art and science of becoming a successful startup. They will get inspiration. And hopefully all of us who are on this side of the fence, who are already well established in our own professions, etc., we will see this as our duty to give back to the ecosystem and to the startup world. So once again, I'm very happy that so many people are participating, and I convey my best wishes once again. Thank you very much.
Moving ahead, we now come to a significant moment of the event, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. This MOU will foster collaboration and growth in the entrepreneur space. May I now invite Mr. Srikanth, CHRO and EIR of Machani and Singularity University, Mr. Uday Vedre, Board Member of US-India Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Kavita Rajesh, Regional President, South Asia, ABWCI, Dr. Sushmita, Head of Life Sciences from Research and Innovation, Circle of Hyderabad. I would like to invite Mr. Srikanth, CHRO and EIR of Machani and Singularity University.
Good morning. Before we exchange the MOU, I'd like to introduce one of the very senior leader from Singularity University, Neil, who is visiting us. Neil, welcome. And I'll also take a minute to introduce Singularity University. Singularity University was started in year 2008. It's founded by Peter Diamandis. Peter was here in Telangana a few weeks back as a keynote speaker in the AI conference which held. And Singularity is also co-founded by Dr. Ray. Singularity is known for exponential technologies as well as exponential growth. So we are partnering with ISF on 3-4 areas. One is how do you get exponential thinking and exponential technologies into ISF ecosystem. Also, how do you get ISF, the startup accelerators and mindset. So I'll also ask Neil to say a few words, then we'll get into exchange of MOU. Neil, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sri. I am honored to be here and congratulate you all on the success of the International Startup Festival. It's wonderful to be here. My name's Neil Sogard. I'm Vice President of Strategy and Global Partnerships at Singularity University based in Silicon Valley, California. It's important that we're able to come and provide access to not only our world-class educational programs, but our expansive global network of experts from around the world focused on advanced and converging technologies. We're incredibly honored and excited to be here and to be signing this MOU to help bring some of our startup ecosystem experts, but also our lessons on mindsets, exponential technologies, disruption, to meld with the information in the experts here in India through some specific programs around incubators, accelerators, and we will have executive education here on campus. So it's great. We're partnered with Mashani Group to bring our educational resources to India, throughout India, but specifically in Hyderabad, we're also excited about this MOU and the aspirations to work on and explore the idea of bringing a Singularity University physical campus here locally. So thank you all for having us. I look forward to seeing what's possible.
Thank you. Thank you very much and many congratulations. We would now like to invite Mr. Uday Vedre, board member of the US-India Chamber of Commerce.
Hello everyone, good morning. And I'm very grateful for JSR to invite me. Ours is a 501c6c organization. US-India Chamber has been promoting India-US trade relationships, bilateral trade relationships. It's based out of Dallas, and we have 3 offices or locations right now out of Houston and Austin. We are excited for this relationship and signing this MOU. This will promote companies from US to look into India and how they can establish and give us a platform for US companies to come here. And also we are looking to foster relationships in US, where we met recently some of the dignitaries that have come from various states of India, and especially from Telangana. Been working with Jayesh Ranjan sir as well. So this MOU will definitely bring some of those companies from US to look at opportunities available here. And also one of the things that we're going to be working with JSR is looking how we can bring the funds, because there are a lot of investors looking into India, and how we can promote that, by this MOU we can look into how we can get those investors relationships and investors to come into India and support some of the startup companies or startup ecosystem in India. And at the same time, also looking for some of the startups to come and establish in US as well. So thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Ms. Kavita Rajesh, Regional President, South Asia of ABWCI.
Very good morning, and thank you, Sir, Jay, Sir, and distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais. I take it as an honor because ABWCI is the largest virtual platform fostering women entrepreneurs across the globe. So we have 40 countries in present with us with MOUs, and we would look forward to support ISF and take this forward for the global economic drive. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kavita Garu. Next, we have Dr. Sushmita, Head of Life Sciences from the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad.
I'm Sushmita. I head the Life Sciences vertical at Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad, RICH. It's indeed an honor to represent RICH in this August platform. So RICH is started by Telangana government as part of the innovation ecosystem enabler, connecting research institutes, academic institutes, and industry in 3 verticals, that is food and agriculture, health and life sciences, and sustainability. So Hyderabad ecosystem has a rich presence of more than 30 plus research and academic institutes just in food and agriculture and life sciences. So it is indeed a place where there is excellence residing, and industry presence, of course, life sciences industries are world-class in the Hyderabad ecosystem. So it was necessary for an entity like RICH to connect industries, academia, research institutes with the startup to explore the best in the world. So with that interest, RICH came into existence, and from last 4 years, we are part of Government of India as the Hyderabad Science and Technology Cluster. So through this MOU, we extend our support to the healthcare startups and agri startups to explore the rich network that RICH has partnered with. Thank you.
And we are into the culture building of innovation right from the grassroots stage. All across Telangana, we run a flagship program called Intinta Innovator, which translates into Har Ghar Innovator. So through this flagship program from last 7 years, we have been scouting innovators who have no background in entrepreneurship, right from rural level to school level to panchayat level. And we are very happy to share that we just concluded our flagship campaign for this year, and we received 500 plus entries. Those may not be very polished, very privileged class, but the idea, the problem they are solving is mind-blowing. So I'll request you to look at what the work we do. We'll be also happy to interact after the event. Thank you.
We have worked with multiple startups over the course of last 1 decade, where the more on the collaboration initiatives have came forward for the startups to collaborate with large companies to deliver. What we have seen as part of our experience is many of the startups, they're focusing on the technology and the solution, but they might not have all the wherewithal and the tool set that is required to explore the opportunities in the public sector. And if you look at globally, the public sector is one of the largest procurement, I would say, like in sector, in terms of both as goods and services. And as Jayaranjan sir mentioned, 60 odd startups have actually worked with the Telangana state government delivering impactful solutions. So we felt like there is a need with our 3 decades experience and working with the government in technology space. We felt there is a need for to create such kind of a initiative, which we are calling it as iCollab, which is an accelerator, where we will be helping the startups primarily to understand the nuances of public procurement, because the public procurement goes through a certain kind of a regulation and through the bidding process, and identify the right partner to deliver the solutions. So many of these kind of the regulations may not be understood by the startups. That's where we are coming in and acting as that bridge to mentor them, handhold them through our program and through our cohorts. And we are going to house 10 to 15 startups in a year to help them out to accelerate their revenue in this particular space. The startups whom we will be looking for are those startups who have their roadmap to work with public procurement systems or offer the services to public sector globally. So that's where we are coming in, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce ourselves. And it is a physical space which we are establishing in the Innovation and Knowledge Hub in Hyderabad, which is 1 block away from the T-Hub and T-Works, and where we look forward to collaborate with the startups so that they can able to seamlessly navigate through the complex systems of public procurement. I thank everyone for giving the opportunity, specifically ISF, and ISF has given this platform to communicate, and also like it's a platform which is actually bringing the startups both, and also the mature organization startups, and also the companies who could work with the public sector. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
We are honored to invite Sri Shetkar Suresh Kumar Garu.
It is an honor to be here today at this conference dedicated to the heart of Indian growth engine. Our startup, we are living in a time where the very definition of ambition, progress and success is being redefined by young entrepreneurs like yourself. Today's startups are not just creating business, they are creating opportunities, dreams, and future that is truly made in India. When we talk about our job creations in India economy, startups are no longer a small piece of puzzle. They are the puzzle. India has the youngest workforce in the world, and the potential within this demographic dividends can only be unlocked when harness of power of entrepreneurship. Startups have this ability to generate jobs that were diverse, innovative, reflective of the digital age we live in. You are creating opportunities in sector we did not even dream of 10 years ago. Fintech, healthcare, agritech, and countless others. ISF has been instrumental in nurturing the next generation of entrepreneurs, providing mentorship, funding, platform where bold ideas can be flight. Commitment is not just to support business ideas, but to build a better India, a nation where the youth are empowered to innovate, where entrepreneurs can thrive without unnecessary obstacles, and where we all work together toward a future of economy, self-reliance, and global leadership. As we gather here today, I am filled with optimism. The startup represented in this room, we have a power to shape up the future of this country through your vision, creativity, and persistence. We can create a job-rich, innovative, driven India together with institutes like ISF backing your journey. I have no doubt that the Indian dreams is not just a dream anymore. It has become a truth. Thanking you, Jay Chaudhary Garki, who invited me in the function. Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.